ladies. I didn't include that in here.
Danny.
So, yes, my name is Danny and I feel so honoured today to say a few words about Matt and Angela. So, I was recently asked to send some photos to Caroline and Christine to put together a scrapbook, pictures throughout the years of Matt and Angela. And when I was looking through Facebook, I was scrolling back thinking I'm going to have so much of a hard time trying to find some photos to send in. But it shocked me how many there were of you two together throughout past, 18 years, did you say you've been together? So, I was having a look through them and I noticed how happy you were in every single photo. Every single one together, smiling, looking happy. From pictures when you were 18, young, fresh-faced and still thinking tubes, the highlight of the week was where it's all at, and you used to give yourself a £40 a week allowance from the Flint budget, do you remember that? Yeah. And then we went on through the photos and saw them buying their first home together, the one with the triangle garden, if anyone visited that, with Welby Lane. Which reminded me, I know this came up last night, of the night, it reminded me of the night that you went out and walked back to your dad's house because you forgot that you'd moved in with Matt at Welby Lane. And then we were scrolling on through the photos and it moved on to in your 20s, where every single birthday you spent together celebrating, laughing, making memories, having fun, and it usually involved Chinese food as well. That was quite evident. So all these photos from memory lane, I had to keep stopping because I was laughing so much, and I just felt so overwhelmed with how lucky I feel to be a part of your journey over the last 18 years. So one of my earliest memories of you guys, which is what came up last night, was a party at the old Flint house when you had decided to start a family. So you welcomed your first beloved member of your family, Cynthia, into the equation. So Cynthia was a plant. And sadly, I noticed she didn't have a table name here. Cynthia was in her prime when she was savagely killed by Caroline, who fell down the stairs drunk. Cynthia, may you rest in flower heaven. But thankfully, Matt and Angela's attempt to grow their family was not deterred. Because as I was scrolling through the photos, through the years, they then had Sam. And I loved the photos of how protective Matt was of Angela through her pregnancy, helping her put her boots on when her bum was too big, and then photos to Tornado Sam, the cannon's arrival, the real madness took off then, and trying to keep Cynthia safe seemed like a doddle in comparison to keeping Sam safe. These two calm, placid people made this hurricane of energy, and he kept all of his ladies thoroughly entertained with the stories about what he'd been up to. So scrolling on through the photos for the scrapbook came to them having Lauren, Matt's double. So this little lady who could give Houdini a run for her money with her many attempts to escape in search of old MacDonald's bar. I love that you mentioned that as well. We didn't know each other's speeches. So after Lauren, the decision was made that their precious family was complete. Their best parts of the week weren't tubes or the King's Head anymore, but family time. Ordering a takeaway on a Saturday night and watching Catchphrase, or going for a meal at the Welby and playing Uno. Over the years, their family moved into their dream home and they welcomed 2 new cats and 2 bunnies. There was another family member, but he decided he didn't want to leave the Welby Lane area and he moved into Matt and Angela's old neighbour's home. And we hope that Dexter Cat is enjoying his newfound family. So, I can't tell you the thought process that Matt had, but one day I guess he decided that the next step for their lovely family was a beautiful wedding, to share their love for each other in front of all of us today. And of course, when Matt proposed, Angela said yes. And I can't begin to tell you all how happy and excited the Ange fan club were, and have been since that day and throughout today. Angela is one of a kind, but so is Matt. Matt is the type of man you would want your daughter to marry. He is kind and he's sweet, but he also pushes Angela when she needs it. He encourages her, and Matt is Angela's rock when times aren't always so sunny. Over the years, Matt has been everything to Ange. He is a complete superhero. And luckily, he met his leading lady one night out in Melton as teens. Once he met her, that was it. Together forever, would never be seen apart. Just like the dents in their family cars. I love that that came up as well. It's not a Flintmobile without an Ange bump in the paintwork. Matt is is literally the passion fruit to Angela's porn star martini. And for those who don't know about the endless car bumps that Angela has had, or her love for porn star martinis, then let's just say they are the peas to each other's carrots. So a quote from Angela's favourite movie, Forrest Gump. Angela is one of the sweetest people a girl could ever want in their life. One time, me and Jenna spent £50 on fruit and veg to make a 3D fruit face of Angela's sister Christine and her hubby Daniel. After 4 hours of work, we presented them to the gang, we thought it was a joke and chucked them in the bin. Angela felt so sorry for me and Jenna. She got all that squashed fruit and veg out of the bin and tried to resurrect Fruity Christine and Daniel. Another example of how sweet Ange is was one day when Angela and I were living together. Angela was putting away the dishes and the entire cupboard shelf collapsed, breaking all my big plates, all my little plates, all my mugs and all my bowls. My crockery was gone. As she offered to replace everything, even though it wasn't her fault. The fault was Roger the Bodger, who the lettings agency had hired to fit a kitchen, and he completely bodged the job. And another story about Angela. My beautiful bridesmaid Angela on my wedding day gave me a gorgeous gift for my something borrowed. And between the wedding and getting home, I had lost it. And I remember at the time feeling so much guilt. But when I told Angela, although she was upset, she never ever made me feel bad about it. This is the type of person that Angela is. True kindness to the very core, which is why she retrained in her adult life to become a nurse. She is a total difference maker. So, Matt and Angela, I would love to impart some wisdom on you on your special day, but I'm afraid there isn't anything that I know or anyone here in this room today knows that you guys don't. You are couple gold. You are the it couple. You are the pedestal, the inspiration. And what you have is true unconditional love. I know you've brought us all here today, friends and family, and let us witness the magic you have is appreciated by all of us. So, your first family member, Cynthia, couldn't be here today, but she would have wanted you to move on with Cynthia too. So, if you open the present up from your ladies, you will see that
Did you not trust yourself for a full plant?
So, Cynthia too, seeds are in there. So if you plant her seeds, so you can just rip the seed packet open and pour them in.
Yeah. Pour them on, you don't have to
dig them in and stuff.
yeah, have you got any water?
So we want to watch Cynthia too grow with your marriage. And we'd like to raise a toast to September the 10th, the day of Matt and Angela's wedding and the day Cynthia too was born. You're welcome! Over to Johnny, the best man.